So here we are post-show. That's our big winner over there, Haverty. He's the Spangle. His lady is the gray-green opaline. He did really well on the bench, again. He shows well because he actually has the teardrop spots that a Spangler is supposed to have. He also has size. And this is one of the things I really came away with, is I have what they call big, solid power birds. This little hen up here is one. Most of my birds, there is, perversely, and just to show what the judges are like, this is Aphrodite, who won last time, and Haverty came in second. This time, she didn't even stay on the bench. She took her right off. So, some of this is, you know, what the judges think. Here's a new guy I've got. He's going to get bred to Artemis. Look at that beautiful, almost perfect dominant pied stripe he's got. So yeah, I've got birds that have really good size. Look at that girl. She finally stopped chewing herself. That's Hera. And she's growing feathers back. Look at that. She has a tail. What? She has two tail feathers. And feathers on one side, and she's nothing sticking out funny because she's been gnawing on it. This girl right here, she's a beautiful bird, but she's hyper-aggressive. And she has been with two other breeders that gave up on her because she always laid infertile eggs, and now I know why. Because you give her a nest box, and she instantly turns on the cock and drives him away, so she never gets bred. I'm going to give up on her because I do not want to breed hyper-aggressiveness into my birds. So she has until September 15th. If she doesn't find a mate, fall in love, and decide that he can stay with her in the nest box, she's gone. This little guy is looking pretty good. He gave me some beautiful chicks. This girl, look at that size. Now, this is size. This is Sky's line. She's a big girl, and this is her big girl daughter. She is not a showable bird because she has no poof. And she's a dominant pied that has not enough color on her. So, but she's definitely a step in the right direction. I will breed her to a male that has better feather. Oh, look, she seems to have landed on, that is Mercury. She seems, I can't breed her to him, though, because he's split to recessive pied, and she's a dominant pied, and when you mix up pieds, it becomes a mess. So, forget it. It can't happen. This is Mercury's daughter right here. She's a strange looking little thing. I think she might have some clear flight pied in her. She's a mixed pied, maybe. Unlike his son, which is this little guy, he's a real stunner. He's gonna do just fine on the bench, even though, well, he's a little bit of a pinhead, though. But we'll see what he looks like when he grows up. But anyway, so what I've got is size. Look at these two, brother and sister. These guys are 4 months old. This is Poseidon and Cyan's baby boy and baby girl. And they are going to be some monster birds. They're already bigger than half the adults in here. The other bird that did really well on the bench is this girl. This is Freya. She is Fluffy and Sprite's. No, she's Razzle and Remington's baby girl. And her sister, Thalia, couldn't go because she has a bad leg. But this girl showed beautifully and came in third. And she does that consistently. She came in third the last time with a different judge, too. And that little boy right there is Apollo and Luna's baby boy. He's a baby, and he is full of himself and putting on some massive size. And he seems to have a very clear belly, too, which is nice. We'll take it. This is Apollo. He got thrown off the bench because he just doesn't, he's not a showbird. He doesn't have the spots on, he doesn't have the right kind of spots on his mask. He has feather, but his head is not very poofy and it's a little too narrow around the eyes. So he doesn't show well. But this is, I weighed him. He now weighs 80 grams. He's a monster. And he's going to contribute to that size. This is why this little boy of his down here is so big at 4 months. That's also, that other baby that he's there with is his little brother. So I'm definitely going to keep Apollo. I don't know if I'm going to breed him to her again. You can see they're still a bonded pair. See that hump on the back of his neck? That's also not a good thing. So he's not a showable bird, but he's definitely a breeder. The other one that's okay. So that's kind of what I did with the show thing. Is I learned that my greatest asset is size. Somehow I have ended up with a bunch of really good-sized birds. As a novice that's only been at this for a couple of years, that's a really big plus. I do have to work on head and mask. So I have a significant number of birds that have a good head and a good mask, but are really little. They're over in the other cage. Let's go take a peek. And I am breeding them into, or I have plans to breed them into my line so that I get better head, better mask. And a part of the better head is having just longer feathers. So I have some birds over here. I took all older birds, so I have yearlings mostly that over here that I didn't take with me. But they'll show better when they're a little bigger anyway. So the other thing I've kind of discovered is your best birds for show are 2 years old or older, because they're still underdeveloped when they're youngsters. So what I have over here is, this is, actually, I have to move them. This is Cyan. I put her over here, tried to get her bonded to Kobe, but it didn't really seem to take. This is Kobe's son out of Coco, who is finally starting to get some size on him. And Kobe is that little guy right there. Kobe's not very big, but he breeds well. He gives me some pretty babies. I have a whole line of her babies. This is Mist, and her man, where is he? He's usually right by her. Where did he go? There he, nope. Oh, is that him? Is that a purple bird? Yeah, that's probably him. That's Neptune. Mist and Neptune have thrown me a whole handful of these beautiful, really heavily feathered, there's one right there, babies with beautiful masks, and I'm going to fold them in along with Kobe's babies. This, believe it or not, is Bubba's baby boy. That's not Bubba. Bubba is down there. And this is his baby boy. This bird is like 5 months old, 4 months old, and he has all the size and all the feather and everything else. Bubba I'm going to breed to Aphrodite this fall. And I think they're going to give me some awesome babies. And then the other thing is I'm having some trouble with Rainbow's line. I haven't got any fertile males out of them. So, oh, and here's another, okay, more birds with the mask and spots that I'm going to be folding into my line. Where is he? Oh, here he is. That is Hemsworth, as in Chris. And he is going to, he has a big head, big, beautiful spots on his mask, so I'm going to breed him in. I have another one of those. Hemsworth is a good-sized bird. I have another one, I don't see him, but he's like that with the face and mask, but he's really little. Another bird I'm breeding into, this girl has an eye infection, so that's why she has all this weirdness going on. Her feathers are all screwed up because I've been treating it. Her eye's looking a lot better, though. But she's got really long feather and a nice long mask, so I'm going to breed her in. So yeah, I'm just going to be folding in birds. That's Mars over there. He's got a beautiful mask going. So I'm just going to keep breeding in my birds that have the good masks. I'm really hoping this girl's going to show up fertile. This is Artemis. I put her with a cock last spring, but she never produced an egg, which is really not a good sign. So I'm going to give her another try with that pied male that I showed you, the gray-green pied male, and give her plenty of time to see if she'll produce an egg for me. She may be infertile. I don't know. So anyway, I have plans to improve head and mask and put a little more floofy feathers. All these So I took all of my clear double factor spangles and got very clear messages about who was my best quality birds. The cock in here, where is he? I think this is him down here, has a very heavy wash of color, so he doesn't show well. His sister, on the other hand, has no wash of green and shows quite nicely. His little brother has beautiful feather and no wash whatsoever, but he's little. So I'm kind of conflicted about whether I would breed him or not. His older sister also has a heavy wash of green. So the heavy wash is not a good thing. So I don't know. This little girl over here, I was thinking I wasn't going to breed, and all of a sudden she bloomed. Look at that girl. But she's a cinnamon spangle opaline pied. So in other words, a Heinz 57 mutt. But because she's a hen and opaline and cinnamon are both sex linked, if I breed her to a normal male bird, I will end up with only pied or spangled babies. So, and possibly some normals too. So she might, if she keeps going like this, I may end up breeding her to somebody. I don't know who, but somebody. So yeah, lots of breeding plans. I'm going to set up some birds that I fear might be infertile the last week of August and give them 2 or 3 weeks to lay me some eggs and let me see what their fertility is. Because at this point, because I broke things up early for the French molt, I didn't get a half a dozen of my pairs bred last spring, so they still need to be bred, and then on top of that, I have, 20 more pairs that need to be bred. So I have way too many, I have 18 breeding cages and 26 breeders to breed. But there's a significant number of them that I have questions about fertility, so I'm going to set them up early and give them a few weeks to lay me some eggs and either show me that they have fertility or get culled from the breeding program because they don't. And then I may end up with a lot less birds to breed. So we'll see what happens. Okay, post-show, break you.